Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Community Development Commission. Today is Wednesday, April 26, 2023. Madam Secretary, please take roll.
Commissioner Covington,
Here.
Commissioner Lay,
Yeah.
Commissioner Martinez, Commissioner Padilla,
Here.
Commissioner Cornelius,
Present.
Commissioner Mejia.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing a quorum, this meeting is now officially called to order. I didn't do that last time, so I'm looking forward to it. With that, let us all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Cornelius, as a fellow veteran, will lead us.
Our veterans pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, indivisible, with liberty for all.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments today?
We have one, Mario Alvarado.
Please come forward. I'm going to read something first. At this time, members of the public may address the Community Development Commission regarding any non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee. No action may be taken on non-agenda items unless authorized by law. I see we have at least one gentleman that would like to speak. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Commission. Great to come in and see as I'm part of one of the city's commissions as well. My name is Mario Alvarado. I am a lender, real estate agent, tax professional, investment banker, and I'm here to talk about the down payment assistance program. I have met already with the CDA executive director, Mike Garcia. I met with his team support staff, and I saw that it was in the agenda to review today. And I wanted to, bring it up to the commission, letting know that it is my goal with me and my team and my partners to try to partner up with the city to expand that down payment assistance program. And a lot of people that hear down payment assistance program, they think of low income housing. That is not what we're looking for. My mom is Gloria Alvarado. She's the executive director for the Orange County Labor Federation. And so she represents the high middle class income. And that's who we're looking for when not only ourselves in the city, but through the support of the mayor and a couple of the councilmen. They've asked me to come in and speak to Mike and speak to his staff. And now I'm addressing you, the commission, to see how we can move forward with us partnering up with the city and the down payment assistance program. Our goal is to create as many opportunities for the residents of Santa Ana to be able to use the funds that you guys have. We did miss a huge opportunity with the California Dream Act, which is 20% down. And it was the week before, the week of that I met with Mike and his support staff. And unfortunately, the funds ran out. But it is my goal that we are able to help as many residents in Santa Ana through a partnership. We are not asking for any funds. What we're asking for is just a partnership on social media, on website, and be able to do workshops with the city where we can also bring in our own support team for the city and move the city from a paper only application process to an electronic paper application process and be able, I know that you guys have only one staff for that down payment assistance program, and be able to just support the city with that, with my own team that we can bring in. And it's not one company, not one agent, but a coalition of agents in the city and lenders in the city.
Mike, thanks for coming forward today. Judson, can you guys set up a meeting and see what we can do to help this gentleman?
Yes, of course, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Was there any questions or discussion here for our guest speaker today?
I have
Thanks,
one.
Mike. Oh,
I have one clarifying question. So are you offering just like the technical assistance component of it?
We are from A to Z. So because we are licensed lenders, licensed real estate agents. So when I presented to the city, to Mike and the support team, it was an entire presentation of from A to Z how we can support the team, the staff.
Thank you.
curiosity question. Bilingual.
Yes. So we have Mandarin, Spanish, Indian, Hindu, And we have somebody else coming in with Persian.
Very good.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Yes, me. When you talk about the workshops, because your comments were, I really like your comments, and our goal as commissioners, I think, is to also provide more opportunities for the residents to be able to get into this program. And we're gonna be discussing about the staff presentation later, so I'll have some comments on that. But these workshops, do you have any idea how do you want to implement them? What can we do to help you get these workshops, and how the partnership will work with the city to make this happen?
So when we spoke to Mike, and when I've spoken to the mayor and some of the council members, it was where we were able to support ourselves by doing the workshops at one of the community centers. It can be El Salvador, it can be Memorial, any of the centers that have a location. We would help with the marketing on our own social media, create a partnership site that we would take care of the fees. It wouldn't be any of the city. The only thing that I did ask Mike was for support for print media, if that happens, which is not really much. And also be able to conduct the workshops in hand with the city, which right now I was told they really don't do. They're more of a, hey, we join other workshops. We really don't do them ourselves. And so the goal would be to have agents, lenders out there, possibly title representatives, so that clients and residents can come in, understand the down payment assistance program, be able to fill out the application, be able to do that all online as a CRM that we would provide to the city. And so that would be how we would do it.
Okay, thank you, Mike. We appreciate your comments. And again, you'll be connecting with Judson. He'll help you go ahead and move forward from there. We thank you for coming.
Thank you for your time.
All righty. Okay, now we're going to move on, guys, to the consent calendar. This is the time for the commission to consider matters under the consent calendar of items 1 through 3. Do we have a motion to consider items 1 through 3?
I move to consider items 1 through 3.
Okay, we have Commissioner Cornelius. Do we have a second? We need a second, guys.
Well, give me one sec. I'm sorry, Chair. So you're talking on the consent calendar,
Consent
right?
calendar, yes.
What if I have questions on 3?
Let's ask
I
Judson.
wanna, yes, I wanna pull up, yeah.
And Commissioner, you would pull item number 3,
Oh.
and you could obviously receive a vote for the balance of the consent calendar.
Okay,
Yes, I wanna pull item 3 before voting.
okay, we'll go ahead and pull item number 3 per our vice chair's request. Let's go ahead and go back to approving items 1 through 2. You want to go ahead and go do that, Daniel?
I move that we approve items 1 through 2.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Madam Secretary, please take the roll.
Since we're all present, if you approve or pass items 1 to 2, you can say aye.
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 Okay. So Judson, who would be the best staff member present to discuss and answer questions on item number 3?
Our housing programs analyst is actually out of the office conducting compliance monitoring, so I'd be the best person regarding most of the items here on the quarterly report. And if it's specific to our rent stabilization division, we do have Sarah here with us as well.
It's more specific to the down payment program that we have in place. The down payment assistance, it's more specific into that, so.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you, Chair, for,
Sure.
so I was reading into the report, at home, and I just wanna make sure that I understand. So how many people have been applying for this program? How many applications?
So since the beginning of the fiscal year, we have had 123 inquiries
Mm-hmm,
and 123 applications sent out.
mm-hmm,
And of those applications sent out, 17 have been received
mm-hmm.
and 11 have been approved.
So 11 total. And why from 125, only 11 have been approved? Are we, is it because of the requirements with the HUD? Or because they're not qualifying for it? Or what has been the main reason of not so many approvals?
Yeah, that we have always received that question over the several years that we've published this information for the commission and for city council. And so our explanation is that the number of applications received is typically lower than the number of applications sent out and or received due to the stringent program guidelines for eligibility regulated by HUD and the federal government.
Mhm.
So when we in general, when we brief families on the down payment assistance program and the guidelines required for the program that we follow from HUD, the number of applications dwindles from there.
Okay, and another question is with the presentation that Mario had today, and also it's something that I want to bring up. I've been seeing a lot of, I'm a tax preparer, so I've been seeing a lot of people wanting to get their first home, their Santa Ana residence. So I see a lot of area of opportunity for this assistance. So I want to know in what capacity us as commission can work with you guys as staff to outgrow this and get more applications or get more people, get the word out to get more people involved into this. Because like, again, I was very sad also to know about the California Dream program, and that I don't think, unless I'm wrong and I'm mistaken, that we as a city took advantage of that great program to pass on into our residents and being able to help many more residents to become homeowners. So I feel like we have a great area of opportunity here, not only to work with Mario, but I know there's many other people that we can also work with to put together some workshops to just send the word out and provide more of these opportunities for more people. Because at least some of the clients that I have seen in my office, they have no idea that this program is in place in the city of Santa Ana. And those are the feedback that I have from people that live here that are here. So I feel we need to do a better outreach to the community. And if we can partner with people that already do programs, or with realtors or lenders that they already have a program, and then they can bring us in to partner with them, I think that will be also very helpful for staff, because I know staff is very busy. But I just want to know in what position can we help as a commission to make this program better and have better results, and not have only 11 when it's a great program that we can double or triple.
Yeah, so great questions. Love the questions. Let me start with a specific response on one thing you said, and then go into the general. So first, the California Dream for All program. The program exhausted their funds before we could even get a press release out the door. So we track all of these things. We're on all the listservs, and yes, as soon as we learned about it, we would have gotten a press release out the door to try and get that information to our families. But that's just, I want to address that point. But the broader question you're asking is what we call it's a yes and question. We have given our staff responsible for administering our down payment assistance program as much support and leeway and independent initiative to expand this program as much as possible. And on the day Holly, what is her name? On the day Holly started with us, we actually had allocated $1.2 million in inclusionary housing funds to our down payment assistance program. So it's yes, and it's we want to expand this program to as many people as possible. We want to market this program to as many people as possible. Specific ideas off the top of my head. We often will have council members ask us to come present. That's been effective for us to reach different groups. So if you have a group that you want us to present to, we'll be there. And if Holly's not there, then we'll have one or two other staff there. So If there's a fair you want us to have a table at to disperse information regarding our down payment assistance program, yes, we'll be there. And what I think, we're trying our best to expand this program as much as possible. And what we're not where we're not able to highlight in all of this text here is how much progress we've made. You're seeing more down payment assistance loans closed in the last year than we've ever done before. And if we could chart it out, you would see that exponential growth that we've been doing to get more down payment assistance into the hands of families. And the buzz we're creating with lenders like Mr. Alvarado and others, that's exactly the kind of buzz that we want. Now, we're not able to partner with a specific lender because that'd be steering to a specific lender. That's a conflict of interest that we're not able to say, oh, all our loans are going to go through Mr. Alvarado. Obviously, he would know that, and we know that we can't steer anybody to a particular and specific lender. But we are doing absolutely everything we can to expand the program. If you have ideas or if you want to send us somewhere, if you want us to present somewhere, yes, we'll be there. And I think we'll continue to discuss internally of how we can build on this momentum and build on this synergy, because all of us, every single member of our team, we are trying to get families into their homes. We are trying to build equity for families, and we're building on this initiative as we speak with even larger investments of funds that we're excited about and opportunities to come as well.
No, and that's awesome. And yeah, I have a bunch of ideas. I can send you an email in regards to that. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I had a workshop the beginning of the year for first-time home buyers. I'm just a tax preparer, so I was just there to do my presentation on taxes, how do you prepare your taxes when you're self-employed, of capital gains when you want to do a 1031 exchange or all that. So my expertise is on taxes, and I partner up with a realtor and a lender so they can provide answers. It will be great to have City of Santa Ana there to provide information on the downtown assistance program. So I'm talking about that. Like, I feel like I can start working on many more workshops that we're gonna have. They're hosted in downtown, sometimes at my restaurant or sometimes at a studio for a friend that I have. And that's what we're trying to work us independently to attract more people into the downtown and to also give them like workshops to get home ownership. So I'll definitely be reaching out then to you with an email of all my ideas, and hopefully we can, because I want to see these numbers on the next review that we have, to double or triple, because I know we can do that. And I will never doubt all the amazing work that staff is doing. I know you guys, you helped one of my friends to do the downtown assistant program, and she had a great experience with Holly and with all the staff, which I appreciate. But that's what I say. What else can we do to just reach out more people? Because I know more people will be benefit from this. Those were all my questions. With that, I can move. I do a motion to move item 3.
I just had a couple follow-up questions.
Oh, okay.
You had stated that there was 123 inquiries, applications sent out, and then of those that were sent out, 17 were received. I'm assuming that's because program requirements are pretty stringent, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And then of that, 11 were approved.
Yes, that's correct.
Pretty high approval rate, though.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes,
No.
Commissioner. Yes, it is. It is a pretty good approval rate.
And is there anything that we could do to look into maybe revising the selection criteria? Because my understanding is that it's essentially for low income to mid-income individuals. And then, I think the program requirements are there, so we don't put them in an unaffordable house, right? But for those who may have a higher income threshold, is there anything that we could do to revamp the program selection criteria?
Yeah, so we asked that same question, and we've asked it twice over the last 4 to 5 years. And so when we brought forward the last major update to the program, We expanded the amount of assistance per household from $40,000 to $80,000 for low-income households, and $120,000 for low-income families, and $80,000 for moderate-income families. And so we've gone through our own exercise of trying to revise and review the program guidelines to make the program easier to access. And we continue to do so. If you look at our program guidelines and you see something that, hey, you think we should take a closer look at, I can assure you, we'll dive in, we'll take a look at it. Because we have the same interest as you do of increasing and improving the number of approved applications that we can approve.
Thank you.
Thank you for the discussion, commissioners. We have a motion to approve it. We have a second from Commissioner Cornelius. We want to just do a general aye vote or individual there? Okay. Let's call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Unanimously approved. All right, we're now going to go ahead and move forward towards our work study session. We have one item under the work study session. Please note that there will be no motion or action taken on this item. The first item under the work study session is item number 4, the economic development work study. Will staff please present the report?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. In response to the direction we received from the commission at our last meeting, we are here to return with a work study on our economic development division. Our work study will be presented by our economic development specialist 3, Ms. Sylvia Vasquez, who used to serve in our housing division and is now with our economic development division. Thank you for reiterating to Mr. Chairman the bounds and guidelines of the work study session. As our Community Development Commission, we are only restricted to the items under our authority, but we are wanting to be responsive to the commission and bring you forward this work study. So.
Good evening. Thank you, Judson, for the introduction. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Sylvia Vasquez. I'm with the City of Santa Ana's Economic Development Division, more specifically working on business attraction and retention efforts here in the City of Santa Ana. I've been with the City of Santa Ana approximately 17, 18 years with community development, most of my time spent in workforce services. And I'm happy to be here once again to present to this commission on the really great things that our division is doing. We've heard some comments that not everybody knows what economic development does. Who is economic development? So we're a team of 5 individuals, 1 manager on one side for business attraction and retention. We also have an arts and culture team, which is comprised of 1 full-time individual and a part-time individual. And we also have our workforce services. That is a team of approximately 13 individuals over at our Santa Ana Work Center. Today, I'm just going to go over an overview of the services that we provide, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you may have at the end. So thinking about economic development, what is it that we do? We are here to help. We are here to build an environment that is allowing businesses and development to grow. For a city, we rely heavily on sales tax. We rely heavily on property tax. And when we see development happening or when we see businesses opening, that's when we have an opportunity to capture that sales tax, bring it back into a city and put it back into our programs. So some of the ways that we do that is to facilitate business development. You can see us as the liaisons to the city for business and business opening. We provide business resources, workforce services, and also different programs and projects that are assigned to our division, again, in an effort to make it for a good economic environment for businesses and developers to thrive. So as a city liaison, some of the things that we specifically do in our agency is provide access to navigating some of the complex systems that are in place. So we do provide site selection assistance to our businesses. If a business owner comes in looking for a new business to open, we can provide them listings of what is available for lease or for rent in our city. We go above and beyond when we do that because we also have to identify that the use that the particular business owner is interested in conducting is allowable based on our zoning laws. So We work with them to navigate those regulatory processes. A new business is required to have a business license. They're also required to have a certificate of occupancy. With that, we ensure that they understand the process for obtaining a business license and that it doesn't end there with the city. You also have to go down to our business development counter and to get your business license. From there, you go to planning counter to get your certificate of occupancy. So we kind of help guiding businesses through that path. We also provide meetings and workshops available to provide training and technical support to businesses. So that's one of the things that we do as a business liaison. Another thing that falls on our plate is providing, again, assistance to small businesses. And this one specifically, I'd like to bring up small business grants. We have a number of small business grants that we have been offering through the pandemic, before the pandemic, and we continue to offer now. One of the tasks that we are assigned is when we get funding, we do have to review regulations that are tied to that funding to properly develop a program that's going to be in compliance, that we're going to be able to administer without having negative consequences at the time of an audit. Currently, we have the Small Business Incentive Program, which is funded by the Community Development Block Grants, which you all approved recently. These are startup business grants, and they are in the amount of $5,000 for micro enterprises. These are businesses that have 5 or fewer employees, and income limits do apply. This will help reimburse a small business any business license fees, certificate of occupancy, rent, anything that they incur as part of that startup phase. So as part of the startup phase, we see that as businesses that have been in operation 3 years or less. Prior to this program, we had the COVID-19 Small Business Incentive Program, which is basically the same program. Target is a little different because we expanded it for all businesses. During a time, all businesses needed technical support, technical assistance, and a little bit of money. So we were able to expand this program and issued well over 130 loans or such, or grants. So we do keep these programs active. With the Small Business Incentive Program that we currently have, we have approximately space for about 20 new startup grants for this cycle. So we're excited to be launching that. And we're currently taking interest from business owners. And as soon as that application is launched, we will ensure that we process those applications and that these businesses are receiving the funds to help their businesses grow. We do also have a Revive Business program right now, where we are providing $1,000 grants to business owners that participate in technical training seminars. So these technical training seminars are put on by some of our partner agencies that I'll touch on in just a few slides. Another program that is currently coming out of our division is the Business Interruption Fund. That is funding that has been allocated by the city, approximately $3 million, $1.2 million by the County of Orange, and we'll be anticipating additional funds from the state of California through Senator Tom Umberg's efforts. For this Business Interruption Fund, there is an area in the downtown that had seen some struggles because of the construction of the streetcar. These funds are specifically targeted to those businesses that are within those boundaries that have been impacted by the streetcar. So these are just some of the grants. These are the grants that we're currently offering. And again, one of the many services that economic development does provide. And as I said, we touch on business training. We don't have the capacity to host major trainings throughout the year. However, there is a number of resources for businesses. We currently partner with the Orange County Inland Empire Small Business Development Center. We also partner with the Asociación de Emprendedores and Cielo. Those are 3 nonprofit organizations that provide business technical support. And they provide seminars or 1-hour workshops, and it can be on topics of marketing, how to grow your business, how to create a business plan, how to negotiate a lease. So all kind of technical support plus one-on-one assistance is provided through these nonprofit groups. Again, these are 3 of the entities that we partner with. The SBDC, we host webinars in collaboration with them. And Emprendedores program, that's an 8-week seminar that's currently taking place. And we have different cohorts. We're on cohort number 4. We will have seen approximately 120 individuals that have been graduated from this program at the end of this cohort. So again, with economic development, what can we as economic developers do in order to have a healthy economic environment? Some of the programs that we currently offer are the Vehicle Incentive Program. That's a $500 rebate for a resident or a business that is purchasing a vehicle in Santa Ana. The way this works is when you purchase a vehicle, wherever you register the vehicle, that's a sales tax that you have to pay. So for this program specifically, we understand that a very large expense for a local resident or for a local business would be the taxes paid on a vehicle. So for that, we do provide a rebate of $500 if that vehicle is registered in Santa Ana. We work with local worker cooperatives and partner with them on technical support workshops. That's another program that we have. The city is in a resolution to help grow and to support worker cooperatives. Worker cooperatives are businesses that are owned by all the employees. So you're an employee and an owner. It's not an owner with multiple employees. This way, everybody takes a share of the business and they're all leaders in their own way and help that business grow. So it's a really great model to start businesses for some individuals that maybe don't have enough capital to start a business on their own. We also have another program that's a Shop Local campaign. This is a fun one that we launch every year around Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is the day after Black Friday. And this is where we encourage our local residents to shop local. We'll provide marketing material for businesses that are interested in participating in this program. We will market them on our website, on our social media, and throughout the marquees in our city. There are approximately 5 marquees in our city, at the stadium, at Main Place Mall, at the Auto Mall, and there's the Kia, and I'm missing one. But so we do post information on Shop Local, and we have a Shop Local page, and we ramp that up around the holidays, and we're hoping to expand that program for other types of holidays like Memorial Day or 4th of July, when we know that there's other sales going on at the larger scale, at the larger businesses. It's a reminder to keep the dollars local. Also, another program that we have is the Shop Healthy campaign. With the Shop Healthy, we partnered with the Orange County Healthcare Agency to work with the local businesses throughout our community, specifically some businesses that maybe didn't have the best health options for our community, such as liquor stores. The intent there is to work with the businesses of those liquor stores to ensure that marketing for alcohol, tobacco, or other items that are not healthy weren't readily available, readily seen by kids. So something as simple as removing a beer poster from your window. So little things like that go a long way in our community. So we did partner with the County of Orange on that. There was giant billboards out for a while. And the intent is, again, make healthier options when you are shopping. So those are some of the programs that we have in economic development. And this is just an image of one of those marketing pieces that we'll throw out during the holiday season for Shop Local. Again, we try to do what we can to foster a good environment for our small businesses. Now, looking at the workforce services side of things, we have so many programs for hiring employees. If you're a business owner, you want to hire employees, you come to our work center. And if you are a resident that's looking for a job, we connect you with those employers that are local or that are hiring. So we do provide recruitment assistance and job fairs through the work center. We can provide businesses with labor market information and wage data. If you have a business, you might not know exactly how much you should be paying your employees. So for that, you would pull different reports on labor market data and use that to maybe stay more competitive when it's time for you to hire that employee. The Work Center offers access to CalJobs. That's a resume bank through the state of California. And businesses can post jobs free, and residents can use it free of charge. And it's a way of connecting businesses there. It's also the system that's used to track certain types of training for our local residents. Other programs that we have that are really awesome are the Work Experience Program, where we train them and the employer pays them. So the city puts them basically on payroll, covers wages and workers' compensation. And then hopefully the intent is that the employer trains them, and after the training period is over, they hire them on and bring them on as employees. So it's a way of training a resident and having an employer have someone that's going to meet that employment need at the end of the training. On the job training is very similar. However, this is more of a contract with an employer where we reimburse a certain percentage of the wages for a specified time. So it could be 90% reimbursement of wages for like the first month, maybe 50% for the second month. We like this program more on the city side because the employee has to be hired by the employer. So there's already that initial commitment from the employer to have them on board, and it's reimbursement on our end. Those are some of the workforce services when employers are looking for work or when businesses are looking for employees. We also have other types of workforce services when there is a downturn in our economy: layoff aversion services, work sharing, and employee assistance and training. With layoff aversion, we want to come in and provide a service to the employer to see if there's any way of mitigating layoffs. Sometimes by the time we reach them, it can be extremely difficult. But if there's something that we see that could be a quick change to help the business, it's something that we will move on. Now for work sharing, if it's a downturn in the business and it's something that's going to be temporary where they can see, I'm closing down shop because I have to do new construction on my business, or this is a really slow season for us, so we're going to just lay off employees. The state of California can provide a job sharing where the state pays part of the wages through unemployment and the employer continues to pay a portion of those wages. So again, this is just something to keep the business afloat and to continue keeping the employees on board while the turmoil ends. Another program that we have for workforce services is training, vocational training. Vocational training is done with providers on our eligible training provider list, and those are authorized through the city, and the schools need to adhere to requirements that we have in some of those regulations of our funding agency, which is the state. So we do send people out for medical assistant training, for truck driving, for IT, for LVN. So there's a number of training programs available to our local residents that are unemployed or underemployed. So that's a little bit on workforce services in general, but I did want to also talk about the workforce services for our youth. We have some really great youth programs right now. 3 youth programs that are currently in place are the California for All. That is a state grant of approximately $4 million. With that program, we are bringing youth on board that are 16 through 29 years old. And these youth can be placed in the public sector or at nonprofits. And it's a work experience program for the youth, but it also has employability skills training. The second program is the Say Employment Program. That's the acronym for Santa Ana Youth. The Santa Ana Youth Employment Program is for youth that are 16 through 21 years of age. And this funding source, this is funded by cannabis taxes. So the cannabis taxes that the city receives, a portion of it goes to fund youth services. And the Say Employment Program is one of those programs and services that cannabis funds are funding. For this program, it's very flexible because it's city general revenue. So we're able to place youth at any work site that would be appropriate for a training environment. So if you are aware of any youth that is interested in getting to work, or a business that can take on a youth and have them work at their site and get some work experience, we'd like to make that connection there. So please reach out to our work center, to me, or go through Judson, and happy to help with that. One other program for our youth is with WIOA, that's a Workforce Innovations Act program. There is work experience, tutoring and mentoring, and vocational training. So that's a year-long, more intense program. It can actually follow a youth for 2 years. And the intent is that they increase their literacy and increase their training and receive some level of certification, either from the college or an outside provider. So again, some really great services coming out of our work center. Wanted to share. Our work center is at 801 West Civic Center Drive, Suite 200. We're on that second floor. It's right across the street. And people can walk in, receive services as soon as they walk in. So it's a great little center that we have there. And that's the workforce branch of economic development. Now back to the business outreach and retention side of things, we do work on special projects through our economic development division. We've received ARPA funding for business grants. We have an arts and culture arm, as I stated before. There's artist grants that are being issued with those funds. We have the $1,000 grants that are tied to business seminars, and those are tied to Revive also. When we received CARES, we received approximately $4 million, and we had to develop programming for small businesses. We ended up launching 3 separate grant programs during CARES 2020, 2021 to help meet the needs of the businesses and nonprofit community. Other things that we do in economic development are disposition and development agreements. So the city will sometimes enter into long-term agreements with an entity that is interested in doing something within our community. And let's say we have property and they have an idea, we might enter into an agreement where we will dispose of that property so long as they build something really awesome for us here in our city. And I did want to share, I will share a few of those disposition and development agreement projects with you before we conclude. But I do want to share one really great project that we also had that was funded through the CARES program that's still in effect, and it's kind of grown from there, which is our outdoor safe dining program. When the pandemic hit in 2020, we didn't really have too many restaurants doing business outdoors. We received funding from the County of Orange and through the federal government to put on some programs. And these programs included dining in our downtown on the commercial right-of-way, on the public right-of-way. And we built parklets, and these parklets were for these businesses to then expand their operation outdoors. And once we did that, was such a success in the downtown, we received funding from the county to continue these efforts, but on First Street and 17th Street. So approximately 45 outdoor dining areas were built or installed thanks to the funding of the Outdoor Safe Dining Program. Now with this, the city's planning department was able to expand on it and put into ordinances easy way to facilitate a private property owner coming in and placing outdoor dining at their location. So we've cut down on some of the stringent requirements through our planning and building. If you're a restaurant and you have a parking lot that's attached to your property, you can use part of that parking lot and develop outdoor dining there without having to go through some of the more intense development standards that you would have to prior to this program. So that's a really great accomplishment. We hope to see more outdoor dining as the years go by. We are in Southern California. It's nice, there's sun, we have great weather. It's a great opportunity for restaurants to take advantage. Okay. Now, I do want to bring up a few of our development projects that we have worked on through our economic development division. And the first one is the Tesla supercharging station at the 5th and Spurgeon Garage. That's adjacent to the 4th Street Market area. On the 3rd level, we have 20 fast chargers. This is the first public-private partnership between Tesla and a government agency here in the County of Orange. We're very excited. These 20 fast chargers bring in people. Their cars are charged in 40 minutes, just enough time to go down, grab a bite to eat, pick up some food, or shop in our downtown. So we are in agreement with Tesla, a 5-year agreement, and we're hoping to continue that agreement and extend it after the 5 years is up. We have a 15-year term on that agreement that extends every 5 years. Another really great program or development and disposition agreement is the development of this lot. So this lot looks very boring. This is the site of the old rescue mission. It's been vacant for 11 years. It's been demoed, but it's been unused for approximately 20 years. And this property is one of the few properties that the city owned that was purchased with general funds, which means the city could dictate what happens here. There's a lot of vacant properties throughout the city. If you notice down Bristol Corridor or Warner Corridor with the street widening, those properties are acquired using government, federal or state grants. And with that, we can't just do what we want when we finish the projects. We have to go through different processes to dispose of those properties. This one's a little bit different because this is the city's property. So about 2015, there was a group that came to the city that wanted to use this for a community benefit. They shortly started a nonprofit organization called Thrive Santa Ana, CLT. It's a community land trust. Community land trusts are organizations that will hold property for the benefit of the community. This is the first land trust in Santa Ana. There's a land trust in the city of Irvine where the Irvine company had actually donated a lot of land to their community land trust. We're not Irvine. We don't have an abundance of land like they did at one point. So unfortunately, we can't just release all this land for community benefits. We try to keep that community benefit. Judson does a great job with our housing authority properties. I know that we enter into long-term leases with some of these housing developers that we work with, just so we do maintain a little level of control on that land to ensure the affordability for future generations. So here, this is going to be a micro farm. So again, community benefit, but not on the housing side. So that's why it's on our side, our team, not Judson's team. But this is going to be a nice little micro farm when it's over. We entered into a 99-year lease. The community land trust got community input to see what the community would like to see in the area. They have been through all of the development reviews. Again, this is the very first project for this community land trust. If you've ever tried to build in Santa Ana, you know that the development process can be a little tricky with submitting your plans, getting building approval. And this one also needs healthcare agency approval because it will have a little cafe. What's really exciting about this project is that it's bringing worker cooperatives to actually work the micro farm, and it's bringing a worker cooperative to establish themselves in the cafe. So it'll be a worker cooperative cafe and a worker cooperative micro farm. All the permits have been pulled and they're waiting to break ground. So you might see something coming out soon for the groundbreaking. Excited about this project at 1901 West Walnut. And one more project, there's a little site plan for that, just so you get an idea. And again, with economic development, we try to facilitate these developments. So we've been working with them since the city initiated an exclusive negotiation agreement, since we went into that disposition and development agreement, and followed them along the way and helped guide them in what the city's requirements are to help train them so that they understand our processes for any time that they choose to develop at another location, they'll be familiar with our processes. And another big one is 3rd and Broadway. You can't really see the address. So the address is there, 201 West 3rd Street. This is another disposition and development agreement that is coming out of our office. This is on the corner of Broadway and 3rd Street. It's an aging parking garage. If you've been in the downtown, you may have parked there. With this development, we do want to see parking replaced at that site. So we would like parking for our patrons, but we would also like to see something that generates activity and revenue for the city. So here's the project site, 3rd and Broadway. Again, and it's an aging parking garage. And the intent there is that it will hold a 16-story residential tower with 171 apartment units, 19 affordable units. It will also have a hotel on the other side. It's 10 stories with 75 rooms. It's going to have approximately 13,000 square feet of retail space, and it will open up Sycamore. So I'm going to just go back so you can see that location. Do you see Sycamore Street there? How there's a big parking garage blocking it. So we have a downtown area. This is in the middle of the downtown area. Opening up Sycamore Street would provide more connectivity from the east end to the west end of that downtown area. So it will be really great once it's complete. It's also going to replace parking, and we're hopeful that that will trigger some economic development activity. A few of the other things that we do is we try to market the city to outsiders, developers, just people in general. We have an annual Grow conference that just passed. If you attended, you would have seen the number of developments going on in our city. And it is a Grow conference is held every year. And it's in an effort to just kind of bring everybody together so you can see all the really amazing accomplishments for the city. There's always activity, there's always construction, there's always development, there's always something going on in Santa Ana. And that's the information that we want to share. We want to highlight the great stories, what is going on in our community. We also go to the annual Innovative Commerce Serving Communities Convention. There, again, we meet with hoteliers, we meet with retailers, and our intent there is to spur their interest in Santa Ana. So we do the business and attraction side of things by really marketing the city as a whole. These are two of the areas where we do market ourselves. We have a travel and tourism board that was recently established, and that's another way of marketing our city. And that's also coming out of our department. Didn't put that on there, but that is an initiative with the hoteliers that have more than 70 beds. They pay an extra 2% TOT for the nightly rates. That money goes into a pot that then is administered by a board to market our city for tourism. So again, our intent in economic development is to provide programming and services to not only small business, but also developers to help guide them. Because the quicker they do things, the quicker that our city sees the benefit. So that is a little bit about what we do. We have communications strategies where we market ourselves on Instagram. Santa Ana Does Business. Follow us if you don't already follow us. We have an economic development page. We also have a dedicated hotline for economic development. That information is there for you, and I'm free to answer any questions.
Thank you for that presentation. That was a interesting list of services and projects and all that you do. It was actually a bigger presentation than what I expected. So let's open it up, commissioners, to any questions, discussions.
Yeah, a couple questions. Just briefly, so the parking garage, is it the one that's directly off of Broadway, the one by Birch?
The one by Broadway, close to Chapter 1.
By Chapter 1? Okay, great. And then, and again, thank you for your presentation. There's a wealth of information that you provided. Is there information about the various programs like the Vehicle Incentive Program and the Business Interruption Fund available like on the website?
There is, and I can get that information to Bianca to share with all of you.
Great. And then just finally, in regards to the Business Interruption Fund, is that something that's available now for businesses that can apply for?
Currently, those funds have been exhausted with the first 3 rounds of city funding and state funding. City funding and county funding. We're waiting for a round from the state of California. We have a list of businesses. To be eligible for the grants, you need your business license and at least have applied for a certificate of occupancy. So the businesses that we have on file have applied. If there was businesses in that area that were lacking that business license, and our teams help them get their business license and their permits in order to be able to apply. Currently, there's a list of approximately 216 businesses. Those businesses have already received funding. When this new money comes, that's the list of businesses that's likely where the money will go. So it's not open yet. It might be just an additional round to those businesses within that eligible area. And we're in the process of finalizing the information for those monies.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Lee?
Just want to ask, what if the vision of the department try to attract what industry get in? Are we focusing on small businesses or service for hotel industry? I'm curious, what's our program? Or you guys have a vision for that? What are you guys attracting? What industry coming in to the city?
We are fortunate enough in our city to have a very diversified business base. And with that, if you'll notice, other cities that maybe depended a lot on tourism were really hit with pandemic. For the city of Santa Ana, we made out pretty okay because we have the diversity of manufacturing, healthcare, professional, government. We have a little bit of everything. So usually the focus comes from the general plan that has been established or council-driven actions. When the city council sees a need in our community, they come to our city manager and request ideas for what can be done to mitigate any issues throughout our community. So we're pretty open, and we, again, like I said, we have a really big industry base, so we don't really focus in one area or another. We just do a little bit of everything.
And then do we have any program that support the economic zone? Because I know we have a like couple of economic zone throughout the city that kind of help promoting like homeowner want to start their business at home. You know, what are the way we can, help with that? Can I'm thinking e-commerce are gonna be a big thing, or like food delivery, people can do things at home and provide their service outside the house. So get curious thought.
Again, our business hotline is the best way of approaching us as a city. We're able to provide resources to anybody that's trying to start a business. Usually the first step that we give is to have a one-on-one consultation with a small business development center to really map out that idea. What is it that they want to do? The Small Business Development Center has free counseling, free one-on-one consulting, and free workshops. They will work with a business owner to really get that idea off the ground. If the business owner needs a little bit more technical support, there's another organization named Cielo that we work with. Cielo will take businesses that are in the side market and maybe not through the regular business license, certificate of occupancy. So they'll work with someone that has an idea to really grow it from the bottom up. So there are resources for that. Here in Santa Ana, we help guide them through those processes.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, I have some
Questions?
questions.
Commissioner Padilla.
Well, thank you, Sylvia, for your presentation. And I know exactly all the work that you do. I've been working with you with the whole grants for the downtown. And I was the one who requested a presentation from this side because I just learned today a bunch of programs that I was not even aware that you guys work on. So, and just like I expressed my things for the downtown program, for the down payment program that we have, I feel like we need to outcast more of, I just learned that I can get some people to work in my restaurant and you guys will help me with that. So, and I think I'm involved with the city. So, so that's my biggest thing. I feel like I want to know what marketing efforts we're doing to get this word out, because I know many businesses in the downtown that don't know about these programs that they can get benefit. Chevita is about to close, and the main reason why she's closing, other than having less sales, is because she cannot afford employees anymore. So she was busy. She was not able to afford people to help her. So this program will be great for her as well. And then the other thing is a lot of businesses have been going out of business in the downtown, and it's just looking like a ghost town. And that is not good for the businesses that were still there, like me. So I've been trying to get more people that I know they have successful business. For example, my neighbor is the Hello Kitty Cafe. I would love to see a Hello Kitty Cafe in the downtown. I think that will bring a lot of people. But the first thing that they told me is like, dealing with your city for opening a business is a headache. So no, we don't want to go to Santa Ana. And that's just is a little bit frustrating because I have seen firsthand that it is a little bit of a headache in the business license side of it and getting the occupational permit. So I want to know what efforts are we doing to, right now, Corazon Coffee Bar just opened doors after 8 months dealing with permits, inspections. And then the city of Santa Ana was not really communicating with the health department. So the health department was asking for something, but the city of Santa Ana was not approving that. So I just feel like I have seen firsthand the frustration that is for a small business to open something in the city. And I love every support that you are bringing, but I just want to know how we can really make sure that they're getting the support they need. Because all the experiences that I have had, and I can write you guys a detailed email on the ones that have come to me and tell me, no, it's been a headache to open this and to open that. And that's what I don't want, because I have a lot of friends that I want to bring to the downtown to open their businesses. But when I get that, like, oh no, it's a headache to go to your city. I just want to know what we can do to make it easier for them or to really expedite also in the planning department to expedite like the occupational licensing or the inspections that they have to get done, because it's been really hard to afford 8 months of rent to be able to open. Like she was able to do it and now she's open and killing it, but not everyone is going to be able to afford that long period of time to be able to open a business.
And when you are dealing with restaurants or cafes, they do have to go through that separate healthcare agency. So I understand the concerns there, but I would say just have them engage with our division, have them talk to us so we can help guide them through those processes. A lot of the time, they might be waiting for the city and the city might be waiting on them. So having us involved where we can check the status of a project, that's a tool that we can use and that we can help with for businesses.
No, and I totally agree with that. Many times it's a lack of communication that they're not understanding. They are thinking that they're waiting for the city and then the city is actually waiting for them. So I just do see that a lot of lack of communication. I personally help her and I thought that I was an expert of helping her to open the business, and it happened a lot. So I just want to address that to be able to give them more support. I didn't even know about this community center that you have that business owners can go and actually get help. So my entire thing is that I know the city is doing a great job with all the programs that we have. I have never doubted that. I love the Grow Conference. I go every year and I just get super excited and to see everything that the city is doing. But I do think we need a little bit more support for those small business. For those people that have no idea, they just pick Santa Ana and they want to make it happen. So, so thank you for the presentation. I learned a lot, and I think I'm going to be able to rely on all that information to pass it through, because I do get a lot of people wanted to go through this. So, yeah. Oh, and sorry, I'm so sorry. Just last question. Are we working with any of the chambers, like the Hispanic Chamber, the Santa Ana Chamber, for other than the Grow Conference, like to try to partner with them? And because they're a great resource, they have helped me tremendously to grow my business, to a bunch of network events that I go. But again, I find them on my own, and I feel like if we partner with them, or if we have any type of material that we can give to those business owners to get in connection with the chambers, it's a great opportunity for any business owner to start there too.
We do have a really great collaboration with our Santa Ana Chamber of Commerce. We do work with the Hispanic Chamber, but more as a referral source. We refer businesses out that are interested in their services. Our main focus that we partner with is the Santa Ana Chamber of Commerce. With them, we have we have a business retention program where they will send their ambassadors out to our businesses and conduct surveys. These surveys are conducted in an effort to gauge the pulse of the business community. And they'll ask things like, are you planning to grow, downsize, or what are the issues that you're seeing? So we do have retention efforts going out through our chamber. We also have a new business welcome breakfast that we started recently. So that should go on quarterly. And the intent there is for our business, our new business license holders get invited to this event with the chamber, where they are brought up to speed on all the city resources that are available. So we have both of those additional programs that we do offer. And anytime that the chamber has an event, we try to participate, have our booth there, and just provide services.
Well, thank you. But I don't have any more questions.
Any other comments or questions? Discussion.
I actually wanted to comment real quick.
Please.
So I wanted to thank you for the very detailed presentation. Thank you for all the information. Learning about the programs for youth, being in high school myself, definitely will reach out. I think you said the work center, right? I do have many youth, many graduating seniors that I can share these programs to. We could use the employment. So thank you for sharing out these things, and that there's a part of the Economic Development Commission that focuses on the youth. So yeah, just wanted to comment on that.
Thank you.
And I want to piggyback on Commissioner Padilla's comments. You mentioned working with the Chamber of Commerce, the ambassadors. I have to admit, I am an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also on the board of directors of the Chamber of Commerce, and I felt like I got some serious school in here today. So what I'd like to do is make sure we have each other's contact information. I would like to invite you to come speak before the ambassadors and maybe some other engagements to learn more about all the services. I found the presentation very interesting. And I, like Commissioner Padilla, I'm looking for as many ways as possible to put you guys to work to help the community. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you for your time.
Alrighty.
Have a great night.
Staff member comments. Judson.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you so much to Sylvia for providing today's work study. So just a couple of announcements from staff. First, we greatly appreciate meeting with Commissioner Mejia for her orientation and introduction to our staff. It was a great orientation as everybody has gone through and met with our team. We are excited to announce that HUD reached out to us to give a tour to the Deputy Assistant Secretary of HUD next Wednesday. So we'll be giving her a tour of a few of our projects and then joining her on a tour with some partner projects in the city of Anaheim. So excited to have HUD recognize the hard work that our commission and our city council and our staff do on a daily basis to provide affordable housing for our residents with HUD funding. Next Tuesday, the agenda has been published for the city council meeting, including the approval of our annual action plan. This is our largest item of the year for all of our largest grants, our CDBG, home and ESG grants. And so hopeful to have unanimous support from city council. If you haven't already reached out to your council member to express your support for the item, we appreciate your support following your approval of the item at our previous commission meeting. And lastly, we are today celebrating Administrative Professionals Day, and I want to express our sincere appreciation for Bianca and all of her service to our community and all of our service to our commission. Thank you very much, Bianca, and thank you. That's all of our comments.
Is there an opportunity, Justin, to join on the tour?
I'm not sure yet. We are still putting out the details, but if there is an opportunity, we'll definitely reach out.
Cool, thanks.
Commissioner Lee.
Thank you for today that, with the kind of the work study, I learned a few things from the city. Definitely gonna check out the Go Conference in the future and the music convention that you guys mentioned. It's something that kind of I'm interested in and would love to learn more in detail. Other than that, I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys.
Commissioner Mejia.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for the orientation. I felt a lot prepared for this meeting, and I really wanted to thank Sylvia for amazing presentation. I definitely will be sharing a lot of the resources to people.
Thank you. Commissioner Padilla.
Thank you. Not just thank you again for the presentation. I just forgot to ask one quick question. I'm so sorry. How is it that we're one of the few cities that we don't have a platform to do our business license online? Are we working on getting that soon? Is it possible to get it that soon or? Sorry, Sylvia. I promise it's the last one.
Well, that falls on our finance department, but they are working on a system to integrate business tax and also the permitting system. So hopefully that'll be launched in the next few months to a year. I don't want to promise anything,
great.
but
I
they
just
are
wanted to know if
working
we're
on
working.
automation. Yes.
That's great. Thank you. I look forward for that day. And nothing, just thank you everyone for being here. Thank you staff for the presentation. And that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Balbuena.
Just want to thank again Sylvia for the wonderful presentation and thank staff and show appreciation to Ms. Bianca for all the hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. I have several comments to make, as no surprise. But the first thing I want to do is, in just a minute, is have Bianca play a video we recently celebrated the 13th annual Difference Makers, in which the San Ed Chamber of Commerce recognized several individuals for outstanding. There's more words than I could probably think of to say right now, but for outstanding contributions to our community. And the young lady there to my left, Commissioner Padilla, won the Small Person of the Year award. They interviewed her, but she did not say a word about all the good work that she does in the community. So I wanted to roll the video and then celebrate you a little bit. So with that, please.
Perla was what I describe a beautiful accident. My mom always wanted a restaurant. Her cooking is amazing. She's not a chef, she's just a mom. She's an attorney, actually. And my husband always wanted a bar. So that's one thing about me. When my loved ones want something, I really try to make it happen for them. So all the recipes are what I grew up with. My mom's cooking, and she takes a lot of detail into every plate. I'm very excited that we're able to share that with everyone. It's important to give back because the community gives you so much. And I feel the community is what makes a business. The community is what grows a business and what gives us the tools to be better every time. I think the chamber is a great tool for every business owner and every community leader. It gives you that platform to network, to meet amazing people. I have met amazing people through the chamber. Sometimes for small business owners, it's really hard because in my case, I didn't know anything about a restaurant. So I was learning as I go. So finding those tools, finding so many now friends that are supporting you and are giving you a hand when you most need it, it's very important. So I love supporting all the events. Having now 33 employees, I think it's like my dream, being able to employ so many people and know that that you're able to give back and that way. And also meeting so many customers and getting now a big family through the business. And I think the biggest one is making my mom proud, because definitely she is my bigger example. And I feel like seeing her so dedicated and so happy to give back to the community through Perla is what it's really making me like this position. I am Ana Laura Padilla, and I'm a difference maker.
Please join me, commissioners and staff, in giving her a nice round of applause. You want to say a few words briefly?
Like, for me, it's very embarrassing to be on a big screen like that. So thank you again for making me feel embarrassed. No, thank you. I appreciate it. It was an honor to receive that recognition. It's definitely one of my favorite chamber events. I've been going for probably 5 years already. And I've been always sitting in that table. I'm like, oh, one day I'm going to be a difference maker. So I was surprised that this year I got the award. Very honored, very humbled to receive it. Like, again, for me, I don't know if I've been making a difference or not, but I try every day. And yeah, like Perla, it's been a challenge to be open. To be honest, it's been very challenging to keep doors open, but with the support of the city, with the support of the different chambers that I'm involved, of the different boards that I'm involved, I think I've been able to keep that dream going and hopefully for many more years. And thank you for bringing it up. Thank you, everyone. And that's it.
My pleasure. And I had the opportunity to review several of the letters of nomination, and you do a lot of great work. So thank you. Speaking of thank you, join me please in thanking Bianca for all that she does, staff for all you do. You are appreciated. And Judson, you have something coming up tomorrow at Comlink that you might want to tell the commissioners about.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So tomorrow night, we'll be giving a presentation at Comlink on our rents with an update on our rent stabilization and just cause eviction ordinance. It will be a couple slides we'll be presenting, just the basics on the ordinance and giving an update to the Comlink members. Thank
Okay, that is available also online to watch as well, correct?
Comlink meetings, I
No,
don't know.
normally they have been in the past. I would think so.
I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure.
I'll be watching. Anyway, and back to the tour, Judson, I echo Commissioner Cornelius's comments. I think it'd be great if we could be included in the tour. That'd be something I would look forward to, and I would love to see some of the good works that we do firsthand as well. So please let us know on that. The Grow Conference, we've talked about that a little bit. If you guys have never been, I strongly encourage you to go. It's amazing. They had several speakers up there from the city manager on down, and the number of projects, the volume of these projects, the cost of these projects is amazing. There are literally billions of dollars that'll be changing the skyline in the business community of Santa Ana. So they only do the Grow Conference once a year. When it comes around again next April, please go. It's well worth the time. And I walked away with a chest full of pride. So I felt it was an amazing event. With that, I think, oh, one more thing. Last time I was here, I talked to Mike about finding something in the budget to get us some business cards. We're all heavily involved in the community. We're all ambassadors here for the city. When I was on this commission 20 years ago, sitting in this chair, we were given business cards at that time. So as we made our trips for business or personal reasons through the city, and we would speak to each of our neighbors, and they would have questions. It gave us a way for them to communicate with us so we could be linked up with the right services to help ease whatever they may need help with, and just, represent the city a little bit better. So I know you can't answer for that, Judson, but if you can twist Mike's arm a little bit, I'd love to see that happen.
I think we did our due diligence on that. I think it's not twisting Mike's arm. I think it's actually a city council policy for the commissions, boards and commissions that we sent over to you. I don't know if you had a chance to see that email.
I did not, but I would encourage my fellow commissioners who have their friends in the council to see what we can do about that. So a counter to the counter there. With that, this meeting is adjourned. The next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 24th at 4:30. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for the staff reports. We are adjourned.